the hidden ambition. This afternoon there was a labor activity at school, but Guo Qiaoqiao did not participate and came back early. Guo Qiaoqiao caught out Yuxiu and brought out all the family's photo albums, sitting on the patio, flipping through them, and looking page by page with Yuxiu. Yuxiu was very proud of herself, feeling that she had walked into the depth of this home, into privacy and secrets. Even Yumi couldn't enjoy such high-class treatment. Yuxiu saw Guo Jiaxing when he was young, Guo Qiaoqiao's mother when she was young, and Guo Qiaoqiao as a child. Guo Qiaoqiao resembled neither her father nor her mother, concentrating the parts of the two that were most difficult to combine. So she twists in the face. Yuxiu looked at one, complimented one, and said nice things all over the patio. Yuxiu soon found a young man from the photo album and a little like Guo Jiaxing, but not quite like him. More handsome than Guo Jiaxing, and his gaze was soft like a filly's eyes. There was a little bit of wetness and a few points of a gentleman. Very cultured, very ideal look, wearing a very straight Chinese suit. Yuxiu knew it was not Guo Jiaxing. The essence is not so. Yuxiu deliberately said, "Was this director Guo when he was young?" Guo Qiaoqiao said, "How come? He's my brother, Guo Zuo, in the automobile factory of the provincial capital." Yuxiu knew Guo Qiaoqiao had a brother in the automobile factory of the provincial capital. When they were talking speculatively, Yumi came back. Yumi saw Yuxiu and Guo Qiaoqiao head to head, holding something very secret, closer than with her. Very absorbed look. What were they looking at? Yumi's curiosity got up, and she couldn't help but stretch her neck. Guo Qiaoqiao's buttocks were like a pair of eyes. As Yumi just walked to the back of Yuxiu, Guo Qiaoqiao closed the album with a snap, stood up, buttocks twisted, and went back to the east room alone. Yumi invited a snub, especially in front of Yuxiu. Her feet were fast and immediately returned to her room. But her heart was not willing. Standing in the inner side of the window, silently measured up to Yuxiu. Yuxiu saw Yumi's face through the window pane, and she was annoyed and helpless at the same time. Yuxiu did not lower her eyelids, but cast her eyes to the side, no longer receiving Yumi's gaze, thinking to herself, "This is none of my business." Yuxiu's actions undoubtedly had a provocative meaning in Yumi's eyes. Guo Qiaoqiao, however, called again from the east room, "Yuxiu, come here." Yuxiu went over, deliberately shaking her head before going over, making a look of reluctance, obviously doing it for Yumi to see. Yumi was left alone in front of the window, thinking, "It can't be like this anymore. I can't allow Yuxiu to eat in and feed out like this anymore." Yumi held back for a long time, and when she cooked dinner, she still went to the kitchen. Glancing back to the patio, no one was there. Yumi pretended to wipe a few times with a sob, turned her face, and said, "Yuxiu, you are my own sister." The words were too abrupt. It sounded like from nowhere. Yuxiu took the spoon and looked at the thin rice in the pot, knowing in her heart what Yumi was saying, and heard the meaning. Although Yumi's words were abrupt, the meaning was very clear. As if they were powerful, an admonition, they were actually soft. The air in the kitchen was starting to get weird, and it took a lot of extra determination from both sisters. Yuxiu did not look up, just kept stirring the thin rice, thought for a moment, and said, "Sis, I'll listen to you. I'll do whatever you tell me to do." The words were very behaved. In fact, were an iron hand in a velvet glove, with a cheap but proud tone, pushing Yumi back. Yumi was speechless. In front of Guo Qiaoqiao, what can Yumi let Yuxiu do? What dared Yumi to let Yuxiu do? Yumi pinched the sob and froze instead. Standing for a long time, she said to herself, "Okay, Yuxiu, you can. You are capable. This time, the conflict was not too much movement, however significant. Especially for Yuxiu, there is the meaning of a salted fish coming alive. Yumi was originally to give Yuxiu an alarm, but did not expect this alarm was knocked on her own head. Yumi could see that once this person got the opportunity, she still wanted to go against her. Every morning, Yuxiu goes to the market for grocery shopping. After buying, she's never rushed to go back, but wander around in her free time, mainly to stroll around the supply cooperative. Speaking of which, the supply cooperative is probably Yuxiu's favorite place. In the past, when she entered the town, Yuxiu would stay at the supply cooperative for a long time but never buy anything. In fact, the supply cooperative is a great place to rest, and the supply cooperative is probably also a great place to sightsee. There is no need to talk about those nice-looking shelves, just the way of payment is very interesting. The female accountant sat very high up, with a wire attached to each salesperson one by one. The wires are hung with a lot of iron clips, and the salesperson buys the bill, receives cash, clips them to the iron clips, and flings forcefully. Whoosh! The iron clip is like a small train locomotive, goes along the suspension railroad tracks to the accountant's side, and later the small locomotive comes back with a whoosh, with the change and receipt. Mysterious, deep, and wonderful. Yuxiu has always had a little secret in her heart. That is, she likes to look at the female accountant sitting high up. She has loved watching her since she was a child and is very envious of her. The female accountant has been sitting there for many years, and Yuxiu was fascinated by her little calculations, click and cluck. The fingers are like butterflies, like demonic moths, fluttering across the water, flipping and flopping. Once they stopped, they turned into dragonflies again, gently perching on the lotus leaf. There is an indescribable beauty there. The female accountant's hands became Yuxiu's dream in her girlhood, in which she was as soft as if she had no bones. It's just a pity that the woman is not beautiful. Yuxiu always thinks that it would be great if she could sit there when she grows up. Yuxiu would definitely dress herself up like a little floral snake coming across the river, squeaking and twisting in the eyes of the old and young of the whole colony. Yuxiu has actually been an idealistic girl since she was a child, with her own very secret ambition. Yuxiu believed that she would not stay in one village for the rest of her life, and there was absolutely no way she would hang herself from a tree like this. Yuxiu has always been quite confident about her future. Of course, Yuxiu's thoughts are dead now because it is absolutely impossible. From this, it seems that the supply and marketing cooperative is actually Yuxiu's sad place. However, people are weird. Sometimes they just like their own sad places, are particularly obsessed with them, and are willing to linger there. Yumi didn't like Yuxiu's idle and dissolute manner, especially in the supply cooperative, so she issued a message that Yuxiu was not allowed to come over again. Yuxiu didn't understand and asked Yumi why. Yumi replied quite simply. Yumi said, "This is not your place."